Welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Gonna have a drink with you this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. I decided this morning to do a little workshop with regards to pure energy healing and what is pure energy healing, and some of the tips that I can share with you as outside motorbike really loud. Some of the tips that I can share with you over these 2 decades of learning all about energy healing, how to heal the body, how to cleanse the body, how to balance yourself, how to clear clients of negative energy or family, depending, children, and all the things that I've learned through my clients and through the I think the best way to put it really is the experimental process that I went through to be able to get to a point where these few little things on this table have served me so well as a healer around the world. So I've retired now, but I do teach pure energy healing online at the moment until we find a way that we can actually teach around the world freely so I can meet you all. But at this moment, because of the restrictions, because of certain things that they want you to put into your arm, which I will not do for my own health and well-being. So I stay here, and I created 2 courses. And if you're interested in finding out what it feels like after you've learned, this is only just, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours of sharing these few things on the course itself, which is basically an intensive 4-day course starting from 9 till 5. I have a dinner break, and it's phenomenal. So the course on hand that we share a link to below is of the latest practitioners, just a few of them that we asked a few people if they could jump on and share their experience and what they felt and who they are, so they can so we can share them with the world, so people can have healing sessions with them. So that was nice, and we're going to do that more and more. But it gives you an idea of who these people are who became healers and why they became healers. And this is just basically a short intro into my spiritual shamanic tools, whatever you want to call them. These are my go-to. This is what I work with on a daily basis as a full-time healer. This is what I worked with, most of them anyway. Some of them are new, and I retired a few years ago. But if I was working as a full-time healer now, this is exactly what I'd bring with me. But I'd also bring a few more crystals and a few other bits and pieces. But predominantly these are the main things that I'd bring on a healing session, or I would have at my home, and if I'm traveling around the world. So if you don't mind, if you're ready, if you want to sit back or maybe pause and go and get a drink, let's make this a lovely little workshop on spiritual tools, and we'll explain in full detail why I decided to use these tools in and amongst thousands of other tools that you can buy. First of all, you have to understand that everything that I chose became part of my life's path work because they worked. So I tried many different forms of oils, incense, crystals, cards. I tried loads of things until I got what felt right to me. And first of all, this is number 1. Don't ever copy somebody else. Follow your truth. Follow what feels right. So what you get from here is maybe an idea of, oh, that's a great idea, let me try it. Or, oh, that's a great idea, let me try something else which is similar to that. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, because then you will be a copy of me. However, there's been a lot of things that people have sent me, or when I've worked with them, that I thought I'd try that and it worked. So I stuck with that. So a lot of people who I recommend certain products to, certain tools to, have said, wow, these are amazing. So I'm confident and comfortable with whatever I share with you from day to day. So number one thing I always bring with me is, and most of you who know me for 20 years and I've worked with you and or helped you, you'll have seen this wherever I am. I never go anywhere without it. This lovely lady is my mum. Beautiful soul, inside and out. Marissa, her name was. Marissa De Tata. Italian, beautiful soul, born in Italy. I don't know if I just said that. In a place called Pescara. Family in the mountains of family in the mountains of Castello, Piedimonte. She grew up a lovely girl. As she grew, she was a singer. She wanted to be an opera singer, but because she had an operation on her throat, I don't exactly know what that was. She lost her voice, but you know, sometimes I could hear her sing and think, wow, that's an amazing voice. You can see how it could have been incredible. Her favourite singer was Mario Lanza. He was an opera singer. She grew up to be a loving mum to 4 of us. One sister and 2 brothers. So, and a loving wife to a fairly abusive husband, unfortunately. She was the hub, and she was also a good woman. I've mentioned this before. She was one of them people that everybody loved, and she never said a bad word. I mean, even when I was young, she never said. The rest of the family, she'd never said a bad word about anybody. So she was that kind of person, just completely kind. And then she died of cancer at the age of 45 because of all the suffering that she went through because of an abusive husband, and that's something that we should be always aware of. So when she passed away, it became evident that she was helping me and all of us. I think she helps all of us to this day, no matter what we go through. And it's a cliche to say that I believe she works with me, because that's something that I believe all our family work alongside us. So it's nothing to be, it's just that, you know, when we're in the spirit world, we help our family. So she helps me and everybody else. She helps a lot of other healers, and I know this is a fact. Her photo has been taken many times, this one, and sent to many healers who actually say to me that she works alongside them as well. So my mum is a healer in the spirit world, and she's amazing. So I like her to be with me. It just feels right. So this is something you can do if you decide to become a healer, or you are a healer. Find somebody that you love and always bring that with you. It's a really nice reassurance, loving energy, no matter who it is. In this room here, I have Babaji, Sai Baba, Paramananza Yoginanda, apparently the real Jesus Christ that was drawn by a young girl. The Buddha, of course, a few more gods, a lot of different Dalai Lamas, messages, and friends that were of this world. Anyway, I'm digressing. What I'm saying is that everything in here has great energy. So it's so important to get good energy. If you are to set up a room of your own, don't put anything in that room that doesn't feel right. Don't ruin the room, no matter who gives you a present. If it doesn't feel right, put it somewhere else. Keep the room as sacred as possible. That's why I love this room. So that's the first thing, a beautiful energy that always reminds me of the love and kindness, not only of a mum, but for me to be inspired to be a kinder and caring person, especially in the times that I don't feel that way. You know, she's a reminder of that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is lemons. So you have your lemon here. This is slightly older lemon, a couple of months, and then this is years and years old lemon. So I have lemons with me wherever I go. I buy lemons, or I take them from the tree just below here, or our farm. And the lemons I put all around the place, and the lemons are a great indicator of negative energy. That was something that I always found fascinating. So I always bring lemons with me if I'm doing 1, 3, 4, 10, 15 days working abroad, or if my room is where I'm staying for a month or two before I'm going anywhere, I'll leave lemons all over. Lemons normally give you a great indicator of negative energy in that room. So when I say normally, not always, but 9 times out of 10, they do. I mean, it's fascinating. It's phenomenally fascinating how a lemon can go off in a room where there's negative energy. It's incredible. On a side note, I'd just like to say that I find it very interesting that many healers always feel a little bit heavy, exhausted, down when they're working in a room that has no windows or no ventilation. I believe when negative energy is being released by the healer from a client who's got really toxic energy, or there's deep rooted trauma, when you're clearing that away, that energy needs to leave the room. A lot of healers will disagree, and I've heard this before, there's been arguments, but I know what I know through my experience, and I always seem to feel so much better when I'm working outside. Why is that? Why do I always feel great when I'm working outside? Well, you could argue the point that I'm working in Mother Earth, Mother Nature. She's on my feet, so she's clearing the energy instantly. But I think there's something more to it. I think the natural air which is flowing around us, not the dead air in here at the moment because I've got the windows shut. They should be open because we need that ventilation of new air, Mother Earth coming in, giving that life back in and clearing the old energy out. And there is something that's tied to this, whether you believe this or not, but in the ancient times they say that when tombs were opened, dead air can actually cause great illness and all sorts of stuff in that air which is dead. So one of the things that I have above you is a fan, and a fan really does make a massive difference after a healing session. Open your windows, turn the fan on, and it's all to do with ions and anions and so on. I believe, I could be wrong. I know that to be true of the lemon, and in our body the anions, which is the lemons, is the only fruit that gives or heals or it's something to do with anions. Go to Don Tallman and listen to his talks on lemons and you'll understand. But fascinating subject. But suffice to say, the reason why I say the fan is because the fan is always generating fresh energy and it's good for us. So that is my take on that. So windows opened after a healing session, or even in a healing session, if the window is slightly open, at least then the negative energy has somewhere to go rather than sticking to the walls. And that's why it's vital that we cleanse the room. So moving on swiftly to that, how do we clean the room? Before and after is always a fantastic thing to do. So in front of me here is a bag of sage. I sell Alpujarra sage, but you can go to your local store and buy sage from anywhere around the world. So sage then, which goes into, in my opinion, this is the best thing. You can buy other things to burn them in, but I like a nice thick wooden bowl. I don't know why. You say, oh, it'll burn. No, it doesn't burn. They don't really burn. So they might go a bit brown, but they don't really burn. So you put the sage in there and you make sure you have a stick lighter, this extension, so that when you light it and then you start to blow, and then the cinders of this start to burn and burn and burn, you get a lot of smoke. So watch my second most popular video to understand how to sage correctly, because many people don't know how to sage correctly, and then they only do a tiny little piece of cleansing and then there's still negative energy in the room or around them. So sage is vital in my daily life. Okay, so if I'm feeling bad, I'll sage myself. I'll blow this and go all over my body for about 5 minutes and then walk out, and then in 10 minutes the thoughts and negativity that I felt has gone, disappeared. Fabulous. Also with sage, it's the only thing that I've ever used that has actually cleared very heavy entity, negative spirit, anything to do with psychic attacks, anything like that, anything really heavy, real bad grief. if you smudge somebody, sage somebody, I call it saging. Basically, you blow the smoke all around them. You find that within a space of 30 minutes that the pain and suffering eliminates. It's incredible how it works. And if you're having a really bad day, just sage yourself and you'll see, you'll come back to me and say, my God, it works. And it does work. It works really well. So saging a home or a room like this before you do a session is vital. And then after the session, you sage again. Or if it didn't feel too heavy, you would move on to something else, which I call sacred negative energy sticks. So again, all of these things are either on my website or on other websites that I'll tell you about. So these basically are sticks that over the years I created that are fantastic for everyday work. So if you're going to, let's say, if you're a healer and you're about to do a healing session, the room is saged, or you don't need to sage the room because it's lovely anyway. You take one of these sticks, you light it. Should I do that now? So they come like this. Okay, so grab a stick and then snap it somewhere in halfway. Light. Normally it only takes a few seconds, just let it burn a little bit. It's not like Palo Santo wood, okay? Basically it's ground down Palo Santo. So you can see how thick the smoke is. So I would now give myself 3 minutes cleansing. Imagine that there's an energy around you, around about that far off, all around your body. So if you go around the body, all around the hands, what you're doing is you're cleansing and clearing any negativity, any dirty, heavy energy around you. This is what the shamans do before they do the work, and you go all around the body for 3 minutes. That's it. Then put it out, because they're not cheap, right? They're not cheap because they're made by Peruvian villagers and they're organic. So that's a great start, right? So if you're going to work, whatever you do, if you work with public or you've got bad bosses who are giving you grief, or staff that are not nice and you're just not feeling too good being around them, then you would use that for 3 minutes before you do that. And if you're a healer, 3 minutes before you start the work, just straight all around you and then go and do the work. It's brilliant. It lasts normally all day, but if you've got something extremely heavy that's happened to you through the day, then make sure you come home or after a healing session which is really, really heavy, and just give yourself a cleanse then. But through the day, if you're a healer, if you're doing like 6 or 7 or 8 healing sessions and they're all okay, they're not too heavy, they're lovely healing sessions, you don't feel you need it, then you don't need to continually do that. So I would say a session to me would start at 10 o'clock in the morning here, finish at 8 o'clock at night, and then at 8:30, after I'd just meditated a little bit, I'd cleanse myself down. That's it. Go out, go into Mother Earth and sit by a tree, and that's it. And when I go home, I might have a shower or lie down in a salt bath. These things always help. So the sticks are fantastic. Now, if you feel that everything's okay, you feel your energy's fine, you don't really need to use the sticks, then these sticks are fantastic just to keep the room in good energy. So the Palo Santo sticks are exactly what I said, for cleansing the room. And then these are sage sticks, exactly what I said, for really giving a good cleanse in the room. So this is a jet wash. This keeps the energy beautiful. And then frankincense. I like to use frankincense normally once a week. So I'll light one of these sticks once a week in this room. And the frankincense gives an incredible energy and keeps that energy in the room and keeps it high. So it's beautiful. So that's what I would use once a week, one of these sticks. So like one week I would use this stick, and the following week this stick, and the following week this stick. That's how I'd work with it. So use one stick a week so it lasts you for ages. So this is Agua de Florida. I really love it. A lot of people struggle with it because it's really strong, but for some reason for me, whenever I, at the beginning of my journey, the shamans that I used to go and work with, they always used to have Agua de Florida, this original one. There's lots of other offshoots of it. I've tried them all and I don't like them. This is the only one I like. This is the only one that really, for me, is the sacred mix that works really well with all the herbs. It is alcohol, so it's very, very strong. I sell these on my website because I was lucky enough to, but now we can't get any more because the Spanish government have stopped them. So what I've got left is all I've got left in the website. But what I did is I sold something like 6 or 7 of them as one, so that you can have them by free DHL, and then you've got them for, I mean, that would be a year or 2 years you'd be able to have them for, just one set. So there's a little bit left in here. That's a brand new one there, so I'll leave that there. And just before I start my work, I will put some in my hand and then rub. Oof. You can sneeze, you can cough, you can feel a head pain, but this to me is cleaning all up here. Oh, it's actually cleaning everything, and it's phenomenal. In a few seconds it'll be gone and I'll be cleansed and cleared and I'll feel better. But right now my neck is hurting, my head is hurting. Why? Because I'm clearing what needs to be cleared. Now, this is also really fantastic as well, and it's a really good tip. After you've finished a healing session on, say, like your child or a loved one, grandma, or a client, this is what I used to do after the healing session. And then imagine your client's lying here. You go up and down like this, all the way up and down to the head, around the head, and say this is the head, say that's the head. You wouldn't touch the head, you wouldn't touch the face, but you just do that. And why? Because they're getting the light energy of this and it's going into them. So the smell is just gently going into them and it's cleansing them, and it's a beautiful finisher. It's a beautiful finisher. I did at the very beginning of my healing practice use this and ask the clients to rub it in their hands and breathe it in, but sometimes it hurt them too much and then they were a bit off put by the healing session. So I think that is mainly for me. Or if I'm doing some heavy stuff and it's a ritual and I know that there's somebody who needs this, I'll put them into the ritual circle and I'll pour it into their hands and make them breathe it as hard as they can, so they're coughing and sneezing, and I'm doing that deliberately because this is a different form of healing in a ritual, but that's another story. So it's beautiful. The next thing that I like to use is this. So this is only sold at Lemon House, okay? But I would recommend every single soul in the world to use this. So I'm just going to give you an idea and show you. Okay, that's how much this blessed sacred mist is important to me. So you can see I'm not messing. This is important to me. You can see that one's nearly full, that one's full, that one's half empty. That one is empty and it shouldn't be, but because in time it was in there, now it's gone, so never do that. There's still some left in the bottom there, so that's fine, so we can refill that. Halfway, which is great, halfway great, and halfway great. Okay, and this one halfway. So when I have time, I will fill these back up, not through this, but once you have the mist. So what I do is this. This is the original bottle of mist. There's none left in here anymore. just a few drops. And now I will go and get spring water and fill that up. Once that's full, okay, once it's full, and I start using it and it comes down to halfway, I will then go and get spring water and refill it. The reason why is because the memory in the water is still there, even with a few drops, just like that. Just a few drops is all you need. And then keep that going all the time so you never run out. So as you see, this one here is about 1 year old and I haven't used it yet. But when it goes down, I'll refill it again. So basically, if you have one bottle, as soon as it hits halfway, you refill it again. You never have to ever buy another bottle again. So what is Lemon House Sacred Mist? Well, it's a fantastic tool. You can use it all day long for yourself. And what's inside it? 20 years ago, I started looking at sacred sites where the water had great ancient stories about how the water appeared or who appeared by the water and so on, who created the water. So I'll give you an example. In Bali, there is a story about a god and there was no water on the island. So one of the gods pierced his spear into the ground and thus created springs, which are holy springs. So I get my water from there. So when I go to Bali, I always make sure I get water and bring it back. This goes into a big jar, which is in there, and I've had for many years. And every time I go around the world, I hunt for sacred springs, sacred water. So in there must be over 30 sacred waters from around the world. One particular place, which a beautiful, kind person from India who came to Bali at one of my retreats, brought me a bottle of water, and he said, this water is from the beginning of the Ganges. So right where it comes up from, right, is where he gave me that water. So it's holy water. So this just gives you an idea. And all over the world, I've climbed mountains to get to water, holy water, where in a mountain, the water goes up to a certain level and just stays there. And it's like, it's phenomenal. How is that possible? And then they talk about just amazing things. So Fatima, Tibidabo, and so I could go on all day. So in this water is literally over 50, minimum 50 different holy water sites in here. The jar there is constantly worked upon by myself when I'm doing any kind of healing work. So the jar of water is always energized with positive and amazing energy. I will never go anywhere near any of my products unless I am 100% feeling happy and joyful. I do not work to produce anything for you if I'm not 100% full stop. I will keep away for a week till I'm 100% right. Luckily, to this day, I've been very healthy because I take care of myself and I invest in my body temple. So most days I'm happy, unless I'm upset and seeing, things happening on the virus TV. So, but generally I'm really happy. So this, what do you do with it? Well, you simply spray it around your aura like that. And a tip around the room, if you're doing circle nights, spray it on the chairs like I used to do with the Palo Santo. And I used to use a feather as well. Now, unfortunately, my little doggy, ate my favourite one. Okay, so this is one that I use. So I would cleanse the room, or I would cleanse the chair with feathers. Okay, so I use feathers. It's just a tip, but spraying is brilliant. So you spray around the room, which is fantastic, spray on the healing bed, and spray on your client afterwards. I always sprayed afterwards. So after a beautiful healing session, your client's laying here, I'd go up here, spray, 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 and as soon as you get to the face, cover their face with your hand and spray so it's not like hitting their face, you know what I mean, their eyes. Now it's just water, but even so imagine, okay, really that simple. That's all you need to do. And like I said, you buy one bottle and you never have to buy any more again, because once you've filled it up in here, maybe you might want to just keep filling this halfway up, which is fine, because then you can keep it in your bag if you through the day. But this is really one of, I mean, I've tried hundreds of sprays, hundreds of sprays that people have shown me, but for me the most powerful one is this one. No gimmicky, no colorings, no, this is it. Now some people will use this and spray this, and that's a great idea as well, fantastic idea. However, you've got to be careful with it, because it's 100% alcohol, so if it gets in the eyes or the tongue, it's like burns. So this is the most purest and most potent, in my opinion, of sacred waters. It really is. And only a couple of weeks ago I poured out some from somewhere else, which was, yeah, a beautiful place. I want to keep that secret, but yeah, so that's it. So that's the waters. Okay, so then we move on to the oils. Now, my oil started with my first 3 oils, which is 1, 2, 3. So this one is the cleansing, this one is the healing, and this one is the abundance. So they're in here in the bottles. But then I continued using different oils for different parts of the body and different reasons why people were coming to me. So if you were coming to me because you were feeling like really negative, I would use the cleansing oil to heal you. If you were coming because you were feeling like lost and you wanted to find your path and you wanted to strengthen your journey, I would use abundance oil. If you had physical issues like pains in the body, I'd use the healing oil. And then I started continuing with different oils. So a lot of people started to follow me because of Moldavite, because Moldavite is obviously one of my favorite crystals in the world. And I'm writing a book, and I've been writing for nearly 6 years, about the power of Moldavite, and the book is called The Power of Moldavite, but it keeps changing because Moldavite changes every single day to me now. It's fascinating. So I made an oil, and I specifically put Moldavite into that oil, and left it for some while, and then started working with the oil, which is predominantly Palo Santo. So beautiful Palo Santo oil from Peru. And the base oil, I've tried different base oils, but I don't know, grapeseed oil seems to be the best for me at the moment, so I just love that. So if you're using nut oil, you have to be careful with clients, because some people have reactions. So yeah, the Moldavite oil is fantastic. The Moldavite oil then heightens you more, so when you work with Moldavite, you feel that expansion of the oil. And Palo Santo is incredible. So the expansion of the third eye that I would use, I'd rub on the crown chakra as well, and expand my heart as well, and breathe it in. And so that ended up being fantastic as well. Mystical was my latest one, because for some reason I had this great idea that some people can't afford all the oils. And even though I've got special offers on all 10 oils, and a really good special offer at the moment, still some people can't afford all the oils, so I made one oil to rule them all. So I basically put all the oils into one, so I created mystical oil. So you've got all of them in here, which I thought were pretty fantastic. Now it's becoming a pretty good seller now, so I'm really proud about that. Golden Heart. It's an interesting one, because Golden Heart was something that came after I had an oil which was about heartache. So it was a heartache oil. A lot of people liked that, but I wanted then to strengthen the heart. So Golden Heart came along, and that's doing really well now. So any issues with the heart, whether it's physical, emotional, you want to strengthen the heart, Golden heart is brilliant. So you see how that we're touching all parts of the body, the physical, mental, emotional. People were run down and feeling really like they had no energy. So I created energizing oil. Fabulous. Rubbed on the heart, rubbed on the temple, back of the neck. Brilliant. Sacred oil. Well, there's two sacred oils actually, which I use. My sacred oil, which is the Divine Three. So there's 3 oils in one. And Lemon House does a sacred oil, and that's the sacred feminine. So mine's more masculine and this is feminine. Both are incredible. You know, the most important thing for this for me is that they work in so many ways. The sacred oil is practically good for everything. And I could go on and on and on all day, but the sacred oil is phenomenal. Awakening oil. A lot of people were saying that I really like to feel things. I'd like to start my journey and start to open up a bit. So I made awakening oil with a certain organic oil that derives from the Buddha's head. And the Buddha's head, if you look at it, is a pine cone. And if you look inside the brain, the pine cone is the pineal gland. So it made sense, pine. So I got pine oil and a few other different oils that I keep to myself, but the pine oil, this is predominantly pine oil. Remembering that every single oil here is added to every single bottle anyway. So you've got a bit of everything in all of them. Awakening has been very popular. A lot of people couldn't afford the Moldavite oil because I had to put a Moldavite chip in, and because the Moldavite's gone up so much, and the price of Moldavite is phenomenal now, it was expensive. But once I finished on the great bottle of Moldavite with all the Moldavites inside, so the oil and all the Moldavites in it, I thought, well, let's see if this works. So I took the Moldavite oil without the Moldavite chip in it and see if it works. It's exactly the same. So once you've got the Moldavite inside, the memory is always within the oil. So, and then the purification oil, purifying oil. Purifying oil has been something that has been a lifesaver for people who have done something that they wish they hadn't have done. So people have gone to the medical industry because they were told to, or they were forced to by their bosses, or they were coerced into doing it, and then terrible things started happening to people. Huge headaches, sickness, illness, stomach pains, all sorts of really crazy things. This came along at the right time because I started using this on clients who were suffering, and it was working so well, managing their issues so well. I spoke about Don Tolman's oil the other day, and if you go to my Mark Bajerski YouTube channel, go scroll down, you'll see Don Tolman with his cowboy hat on. Just watch the video on the Golden Relief, and Golden Relief is always with me, and it's phenomenal. So these come with me. These are my tools. So I use them on the clients. So if my client's upset because they're filled with grief, somebody's passed away, or they're feeling bad inside their heart, I would go to the Healing Heartache oil, which now is the Golden Heart. So that's strengthening the heart now. If somebody comes to me with really bad issues of negativity, self-sabotage, I would use probably the cleansing oil to heal them from the back and the front, and so every oil you'll feel which oil to go to. Now the thing is, in pure energy healing, nothing is rigid, nothing. So be open to using any oil if it feels right, because sometimes what you think is the right thing to do isn't. So if you could clear your mind from thinking, you'll find that what I used to do, and I know this is going to sound potty to a lot of you, but I stopped looking. I stopped trying to figure it out. And what I used to do is my client would lie down and come over and just pick this oil for you. So this oil would be, this is energizing. So now I'm going to be using this oil. I don't question why. I just know that I've been pulled over to pull out whichever feels right. So eventually, but that takes a lot of doing. That takes a lot of trust, and you have to build up to that. or else your mind will just be saying you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, that's that. I bring a bell with me because at the end of a healing session, I like to use this when my client's asleep and I don't want to wake them up. Like, I'll always do it further away, and then I'll come closer slowly until I see the movement of my clients now starting to wake up. Okay, and then I'll go up to my client and gently touch their hair, and with a big smile on my face, because I want my client to see a smile when the healing session is over, which is the reassurance that the healing session went well and everything's happy and they're happy. Crystals. It was a tough one for me actually when I was thinking about doing this. What crystal would I choose? What if I had a choice of 3 crystals, what would I choose? Well, for me right now, there is so much negativity in this world, and the energy and the frequency of this world is not as strong as it used to be. I am going to say that I would choose Tektite. And there's a reason for that, because Tektite is the only crystal that actually absorbs negative energy. So a Tektite, 2 Tektites in both hands. If I'm working on clients, I quickly lay it down on the heart like there, and then work the energy there. If it's on their third eye, I gently put it on their third eye. If you put that on the third eye, it's not like it's too heavy. So I'll put it there and do some healing work above and take them off gently. Move them down to the stomach, or keep one in one hand and work with the other. If I'm healing myself, working on myself, I like to have 2 in my hand, sit and meditate, and you can feel the energy, negative energy being sucked into the Tektites. If I had a choice of wearing one crystal, this is it. And a lot of people already know. This is Tektite, of course, but then there's Herkimer Diamond and Moldavite. Now these are my prototypes, and I've been selling these now for a good few years. They are probably the best selling crystal on my website, and many people now are copying these because they know they work. So this is my 3. This is always the trio of everything. This is the divine 3 crystals. The Moldavite is something so unique that it would take me a week to explain what Moldavite is. But if you click Moldavite on here, on my channel, you'll see maybe 100 videos that talk to you about Moldavite. Moldavite is still the #1 crystal in my opinion, apart from myself and you. You're the #1 crystal. Herkimer Diamond, I can't speak highly of it enough. I'm always looking for Herkimer Diamonds and always putting them onto my pendants. So sometimes I'll use Herkimer and Moldavite, sometimes I'll use Herkimer with Tektite, and so on. But this is, in my humble opinion, the most powerful crystal in the world, because these 3 together work fabulous. You've got the absorbing of negative energy with a nice piece of Tektite, which is exactly like this. Then you've got your Moldavite, which brings you to a higher frequency. It's almost like you are attuned to frequencies that you are not normally attuned to, and you don't have to have a big piece. A little piece is enough, because the frequency of Moldavite is so powerful that it brings you to different energies, different vibrations, and in my humble opinion, it's the extraterrestrial energy that we all need to feel and work with these days to make a difference in the world. So sometimes you can get some amazing downloads with Moldavite. And Moldavite also has this unique ability of targeting certain deep-rooted issues that it takes away and clears and just brushes away. So yes, you cry, yes, you feel hot, because the physical and the emotional are all connected. Moldavite seems to have this energy that if you've got a genuine piece, because there's so much fake now, if you've got a genuine piece, what happens is your body then starts to vibrate at the frequency of the weakest, so you can feel the weakest part of your body, or the trauma, which is the heaviest trauma, and it targets that. So you'll feel the purging, the venting, and that's amazing, because once that's done, then you'll find yourself getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So it's incredible how Moldavite works. Like I said, I could talk about Moldavite for weeks. And then you've got a beautiful crystal, which is a clarity crystal, which always keeps you one step ahead of everything, and that is the Herkimer Diamond, and that is from the Ace of Mines in New York. As long as you get the genuine piece. If you buy it from India, Herkimer Diamond, it's not the same frequency. It's beautiful, but not the same. So there's something about this clarity that when you're working, you can see clearer. So if you're a healer, practitioner, Herkimer Diamond just keeps you aware of things that you may not have been aware of prior. So when I'm wearing Herkimer Diamond, as I've done for many years when working with clients, it's almost like I'm able to see things that I wouldn't have seen when I'm not wearing it. So it's a clarity crystal, but it's also phenomenal in a way that when it's next to anything else, it amplifies the other crystals to a higher frequency. Win-win situation. And that's why I created, as a full-time healer, the crystal that I wore all the time, and that was 3 of them. Moldavite, for taking me to another level of healing and psychic work. Tektite, always absorbing negative energy when I'm working on clients and always keeping me strong. Herkimer Diamond, just clarity in so many ways, and strengthening and amplifying the rest of the crystals. So these are called Moldavite trios. They're on my website. I actually saw somebody's website that they sent to me, a friend sent to me, and they've got one of these up for sale for $2,200. So I don't think I'm doing too bad from $100 to £300 for one of these. Remember that these are all genuine and worked upon by myself for many, many hours, which I put also energy into every single crystal that I work with. So next thing is cards. I used to work with Doreen Virtue, which were fabulous, really, really brilliant. Then I worked with different cards, and then I started writing things down after a healing session when I went for a walk, or at the same time as a healing session. So I'd finish the healing session, sit down, my client will be asleep, and I'd be writing down certain things. So I ended up writing all of these things down, and then I realized that I was writing angel cards. So here are my angel cards. Now these angel cards don't come with a book, because I believe that you understand what the meaning is without me telling you what the meaning is, okay? So you can read a meaning and you can go, oh wow, but what I wanted to do is I wanted you to understand the meaning. So it's a lengthy write-up of the card. It's a lengthy write-up for sure. Angel of connection, angel of energy, angel of light, angel of emotion, angel of patience, angel of time, angel of kindness, angel of forgiveness, angel of determination, angel of moving, angel of stars, angel of heaven, angel of grounding, angel of creativity, angel of hope, angel of new life, angel of guidance, angel of possibilities, angel of balance, angel of partnerships, angel of whispers, angel of transformation, angel of energy, angel of faith, angel of power, angel of admiration, and so on. There's 42 cards, but I've got two decks here, so I mix them together. So I'll just give you an idea, okay? This is how I work. So after a healing session, okay, or after I've healed myself, I would take the cards. Imagine this is for you when you've just had a healing session, and then you wake up and you're sat up and you're feeling amazing, you're feeling clarity, you've just had all of this work done with all of these beautiful tools, and you've had this lovely healing session with the crystals, and you know, you've just been sprayed lovely with the mist, and you know, the room's feeling lovely, the music is playing. So I then spread the cards out and say, please choose a card. So you choose a card, and then I leave you to read it. And just randomly, I just chose this card. And this one is Angel of Healing. So you would read this card, okay? So If you ever buy my card, you'll understand what that card means. But they're all there. Then I wanted to do angel messages. So they're angel cards, but this is more a deeper message. So this is from your family and spirit. This is more about your family and spirit. These are messages from the spirit world. And I say this as your family and spirit. There's not much difference, to be honest, but I don't know, it just felt different. So I would also give one of these cards as well on their way out, so they would keep this card. So I'll give you, I'm going to close my eyes, so let's grab one. So the teacher, and I made sure they're bigger, so like people like me can read it easier. So this is your message today. The final part in your understanding will be when you realize that you are the missing piece to your happiness and path. You, my wonderful friend, are the teacher. In time you will understand this. I see it and know that great wisdom exists in you. So that just gives you an idea that makes people think then. So you've not got a book and you're trying to figure out what it means. You go away and you look at that and you think about it, just like with the angel cards. You think about the message and you become the teacher. You then, understand it in your own unique way. So that's that. For me, if I want to go a little bit more deeper into my understanding of psychic and awareness, there is something that I haven't shown you, which is called the awakening sticks. So the awakening sticks, yes, they are protection sticks for sure, but they also, there's something in here that I've put. It's Moldavite powder, and it really does make a difference. And there is some sage in there as well, so it's for everything. But it's devised that when I worked through the years, I was trying to get certain things together that made me more aware. And like, oh my God, that was an amazing meditation, or that was an amazing healing session, or that was an amazing psychic read that I would give around the world to people. So I created the awakening sticks for that reason. And for me, the awakening sticks are similar to the cleansing sticks, but this is about heightening our awareness. So I would use only about a minute around my neck here, so that the smoke would just hit all this. And once this is awake and aware, then the work was great. So this is what I would use on a daily basis. These are my tools to help me keep me grounded, keep me strong, keep me cleansed, help my clients. So I became a really, in my opinion, a really grounded healer. Okay, so I was open to everything, always willing for change, but I ended up just using these particular tools. And they served me well through all those years. And if I was asked to do it again, which I won't, but if I did it again, I would just take all these and I would be so confident. So yeah, it's all about confidence. It's all about belief. It's all about true inner faith. But to get there is another thing. So these are my tools. Now, one of the things that we teach in the Pure Energy Healing Academy online course is this is just a few little bits of what we teach. So what I've suggested is, what I suggest is that I'm going to leave a link below, and that link is to show you, after 4 days of the Pure Energy Healing course online, because you might think, oh, it's online, I want to be there. Actually, you feel like you're there. Trust me, it's incredible. So we just finished a course. There's courses all the time, so you can book onto the course at any time. So we put a message out to those beautiful souls who just finished the Pure Energy Crystal course, which is amazing. So all of this is involved in the crystal course too, but predominantly about crystals and how to work with them, use them on yourself, and heal your family and friends. And if you wanted to become a practitioner, that's another thing. And it's just phenomenal. So we sat down and we did we wanted to introduce you to these healers. So we got a few people online and we had a chat. Myself and Leila Sati came along and we sat and had a chat, and we just wanted to introduce you to some of the beautiful souls around the world who are every day becoming healers of the pure energy healing, whether it's crystal healing or pure energy healing. They're coming along and they're wanting to learn and expand on their healing technique, and they want to heal themselves, which this course is about. So it's only a 30-minute video, but I really suggest that you go and watch it and listen to what these beautiful ladies have to say about who they are, why they decided to take the pure energy healing online crystal course, and listen to what they're saying. Listen to them, feel them, and you'll understand how incredible this course is, not just to become a healer and a practitioner, but also what it does for you and your life and your journey, and how you can implement everything that you learn in them 4 days into your life, and it can change your life thereafter. It can answer so many things that you didn't know. And you know, for me, I invested in my 20 years of practice, learning, meeting some amazing souls in the world with ancient knowledge. And yes, it does cost. Of course it does. Nothing is free these days when you want to learn something like that. It can be free. Of course it can. But most things, like I've paid literally tens of thousands to learn when I first started 20 years ago. And it was great. Some things I got a lot from, some things I didn't get anything from. But it was great learning, and I understood more and more as I went along. This is a comprehensive course. It's like there's nothing diluted in this course. It's like, you know, you get two types of washing up liquid. One which is like weak, and another one which is so concentrated that you only need a bit. Well, I believe that the pure energy healing course is so concentrated that after those 4 days, you will have so much wealth of knowledge, concentrated knowledge, powerful knowledge, that I don't think you need to do much more than other than work at that for the next couple of years, and you will change your life. You will feel better. You will feel stronger. And I talk about this now because I could have talked about anything today, but I thought, you know, this is the time that people need to start to embrace their own truth. They have to be their own guru. They have to be their own teacher. And this course isn't about telling you what to do. It's about helping you have the confidence to believe in yourself and what you're doing and what you feel is right to do. So it isn't rigid. It doesn't force you to be ABC 1, 2, 3. It actually helps you expand to be everything that you are, everything that you were, and everything that you always will be. And this is the beauty about the course. It's for anybody. You don't need to know anything about a crystal. You don't need to know anything about energy. You don't need to know anything about anything, because it's so self-explained. It's so easy to digest that any layman, even me, will understand it. And it takes some doing for me to understand things. It's simple and it's easy. And you think, oh, it's online, it's going to be difficult. No, it's really simple. It's a matter of clicking a button, watching a video, embracing it, and then moving on to the next video until you get to the end, and then you'll say, wow, this was amazing. In my humble opinion, after all the work and learning I've done, and same with Leila Sati, she's worked all over the world with many famous people, many gurus, like I have with shamans. This, I believe, is probably one of the best courses in the world. And all you need to do is go to the website and see the testimonies. We've got thousands of testimonies, but we only put a few up. But yeah, watch the video below, and then you'll see, because you know, they've just finished the course. Listen to what they have to say. And if it feels right, then I hope to see you on the next course. And yeah, it'll be great. Online and interactive, it'll be great. What we're doing now is that if you take the course, there's a date for the next interaction. So you do the course, and then we put a date up, and then we all come together and we all talk about that course. So seems to be the best way. So that's what we're doing right now. But please read all the information on the pureenergyhealingacademy.com. Read it thoroughly, see if it feels right, and make sure you absorb what it says. Okay? And that's it. Just read it. But yeah, watch the video. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, Mum. Well done. Thank you for that. I'm going to get some work done. I'm going to upload some crystals now because I've got some beautiful blue opals, some tektites, and what else have I got? I've got some beautiful pink moonstone and some petersite to put up. So I'm busy today. I hope you enjoyed this workshop from my heart to yours, and I do really hope that you watch the video below, and maybe, just maybe, it's your moment to become a pure energy healer or a pure energy crystal healer. I really mean that. It changes lives. Okay, take care, guys. All the products are on markbajerski.com, by the way, so you can go and say hello there. Bye bye.